Precisely. Two best buds. Precisely. Drinking beer and talking about stuff. Precisely. Bo and Tony. Precisely. Playing and reviewing games. Precisely.
How's it going, everyone? This is Precisely Podcast, episode 23. I am with my right-hand man, Tony Baloney, Tetris hating, always watch wearing, Vans wearing as well, Tony.
And I'm with my left-hand man because he's on my left, Bo McGo,
Alright.
McStowe, and Never Low.
Cappuccino.
That's right.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's keep rhyming the whole podcast.
Alright, like a Dr. Seuss rhyme or something?
Yeah.
Left foot, left
What
foot.
rhymes with rhyme, though? Nothing. Time.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff does, actually.
limes,
Yeah.
crime.
Anyway, what have you been up to this week?
A lot of work, a lot of gaming too on my free time. I went kayaking actually the day after we recorded our last podcast, and that was really nice. Went out on the river with a bunch of people I didn't know, and my wife and my sister. And honestly, like the beginning of it just sort of sucked because everyone was just too spaced out. Didn't know the people that well and the things that they were talking about. I was just like, let me get out of here. Like, he was like, the one dude was talking about, like, weenuses and vaginas the whole time.
Dude, how,
And he was
12-year-old
like,
is that?
and he was like 38 years old.
Yeah, grow up, bro. That's like
And
so
it was
third grade.
for a freaking hour that he kept bringing it up. I'm just like, dude. Like,
Unbelievable. Like, we all haven't heard that before, and we're sick of it.
Yeah.
You know?
And
By the time you're like 18,
and he
you're
was
sick
the
of
one that wasn't drinking at all. Like, I had 2 beers out on the river, and I was just, like, done drinking while everyone else was drinking, minus this one guy that was talking about weenuses and vaginas or whatever. And,
What a dork.
yeah, I was just like, get me out of the river. But the thing is when you're kayaking, you have the destination that you're entering the kayaks in, so your truck is there, you know, and then you have the exit area where someone's car is parked there. So you have to wait for everyone anyway to get driven back to your truck to go back to the end spot to pick up your kayaks. And everyone just wasn't even paddling. They were just floating like we were on tubes. And I was just like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I want to paddle. Like, I want to actually, like, be doing something.
Yeah, definitely. I always do that. I like to go down sometimes and then, like, paddle back.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was doing that too. And it ended up being an alright trip near the end of it all. Like, I just got into a better mood of things. I was just like, I'm out here on the river. I gotta just make the most of it, you know? But I did bring Wario Land for the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, and I got to try out my Hori Pocket Pack case or whatever. It's a waterproof case. And it's actually really cool. It seals the whole Game Boy in this like vacuum sealed plastic container that has like a silicone like rubber area for the D-pad and the A and B buttons. And it worked perfectly. Like, I didn't dunk it in the water just because I was rocking like an $80 Game Boy Pocket, the Extreme Green, but you know, I'm pretty sure it would have worked, you know.
Yeah. And Hori is a company that just makes a bunch of like extras for Nintendo stuff, right?
They make it for like every company.
Okay.
Yeah. They do like off the wall like weird stuff. Like, you know, Hori from the N64 controllers that I have, the small ones, the mini pads, but they made a Dragon Quest controller that's like a blue slime enemy that's for the PlayStation 4, which is really cool, yeah. So, yeah, that was fun kayaking. This one guy called me a communist before we left.
Why?
Because Leonard Skinner was playing, and we were on this island for like over an hour, and I was trying to get to my parents' art gallery exhibit. Not that they were showing at, but they wanted us to join at. And I was like, we need to go. Like, we've been here for an hour. All you guys are doing is just like bullshitting about nothing and drinking beer, whatever. I was like, we need to go. And this one guy that was on the island that wasn't kayaking with us, but knew the one dude, and he flagged him down while he's kayaking past this island. He's like, you can't leave during Leonard Skinner. I was like, why not? He's like, because that's not American. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not American? He's like, it's Leonard Skinner. I'm like, I've heard Leonard Skinner Free Bird 1,000 freaking times in my life. Like,
yeah, more than that probably.
I'm like, if I really wanted to, I could go home and play it on vinyl record. Like, he's like, you're a communist if you leave. I'm like, I am not a communist. Like, I take offense to that. I don't want to throw blows at you right now, but I just want to leave, But ended up listening to all of it before we left, It's like a 13-minute song.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my weekend in a nutshell. How have you been?
I've been good, dude.
Better than me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to deal with anyone forcing me to listen to Leonard Skinner on an island in the middle of the Susquehanna River.
Yeah.
Although there's worse places to be for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to name off a few?
Yeah, hell.
Hell. A crack
Or,
house.
Yeah.
Locked up in someone's basement.
Emergency room. Dentist.
Yeah, dentists suck.
Definitely. Anyway, dude, did you feel the earthquake we had?
No, we did not have an earthquake.
Yeah, we just had an earthquake.
When?
Wednesday night.
When you just farted on the couch.
No, that was my ankle cracking.
Okay.
Yeah, we just had a earthquake, and that was the second earthquake I experienced in my life in Pennsylvania.
So did you feel it?
Yeah. It was like a 3.5 or 4.5.
What time was it?
It was a little before 8:30.
PM.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't feel it. A lot of people did. But I wanted to ask you, what was the craziest weather event you've been through, or like Earth natural event?
I
Because
remember
I can't remember what mine would be. Maybe like hurricanes, I guess we've had, but
like
or
the
brutal
one that
snow.
the one that jumps up like right in my mind. I was in West Virginia at like a Christian camp, and it started hailing, but the hail was literally like golf ball sizes of hail.
Wow.
Yeah, coming down, like some kid like started bleeding because it hit them in the face.
Damn.
We had to run to this basement, and like everyone's like huddled in like little groups of 5, like praying, and like
Yeah.
all the girls are crying, and they're like screaming, and they're like, it's the apocalypse, we're dying, God's coming
Yeah.
back.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's hail. Like, I've never seen hail that big in my life, still haven't since that day, but yeah, it came in and went, real fast.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. I guess that could really mess some stuff up.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been in lightning storms, like, while on a kayak and stuff, like, on the
Yeah.
river, and
But that's not
definitely
that
scary.
bad. I mean, I think like thunder and lightning, not that scary.
Yeah,
But,
but
like,
if you're
flooding
if
and
you're
shit.
surrounded by water, it sucks,
Yeah.
Definitely, I think the storm of 96, so I was 8 years old. There was snow, like, up to the top of my door,
Yeah.
my front door. So, like, we couldn't even go outside. It was, like, people remember that in this area. So, like, whenever they call for snow, it's, like, all the bread and milk goes away. Everyone's at the grocery store the night before, like...
Yeah. I think we're slowly getting away from that, though. People
I mean,
realize-
people still go crazy at the grocery store before a snowstorm.
Yeah, but I think more people are starting to realize, they're pretty efficient at clearing out the snow, and you're going to be all right. Most
Yeah.
people have enough food in their kitchen to last them another day
Yeah.
or whatever.
You definitely still have those can of beans in the back of your cabinet that you haven't eaten for like 2 years, but it's so good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what are you going to make with bread and milk? Peanut
Yeah,
butter
I
and
don't
jellies
know.
and
Yeah, I don't
milk?
know. Yeah, and milk.
That doesn't even sound that good anyway.
French toast.
I'd rather get a lot
French
of other
toast
things.
with eggs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, dude, what do you think of E3?
E3 is good. Let's talk about this beer first that you brought.
Right on, Flying Jenny.
Yeah. So it's called Flying Jenny. It's from Gray Sail Brewing of Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. That dude, Game Bo, he was from Rhode Island.
Is that right?
Yeah, I got his package the other day, the EverDrive.
Oh, yeah? Did you test it out or?
I did
Check
not
it
test it out, actually. I should have. It's been on my coffee table forever. I just put it away. But, yeah, he's from Rhode Island. It's an extra pale ale. It's very earthy tasting to me. but I do like it. I don't know what the extra pale ale means. Maybe because it's hopped with a bunch of different hops, and then it's dry hop near the end with Cascade.
Yeah, I guess that's the extra pale part of it, huh? Maybe a little
Yeah.
more hoppy or
So it's an EPA instead of an IPA.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely earthy. Like, it tastes like hop leaves, I would think, you know.
Yeah, I like it a lot, man. I picked a six pack of it up the other week, and I couldn't get enough of it, so I had to go buy another one.
Nice. Yeah, you hit me up earlier this week, and you were like, I got a beer for you to try. Like, it's funky, I think you said, or something.
Dank.
Dank? Okay. Yeah, so I was thinking, like, maybe, like, a sour or something, like, just, like, off the wall weird. This is just, like, a very traditional but extra hoppy IPA
Yeah.
or pale ale. It's good. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Thanks
It's kind
for-
of summery, I
Thanks
think.
for contributing some beer, Tony.
Yep.
You always do. What am I saying? Yeah, it's a E3. So E3's been going on. I think it's still going on for a couple more days now. I think it goes till Tuesday. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Like, I guess it's almost like a festival, kind of, huh?
It is, and I've heard that this E3 is like the smallest attendance, mainly because like Sony's not there, Nintendo's not there directly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's Xbox, it's Square Enix, it's
Yeah. Why do you think Sony didn't show up?
they didn't have anything that they really wanted to show.
Yeah.
You know, like they could have gone there with Death Stranding, and then that's it.
Yeah, but which they already like released that, and then
And
they
I
already
think-
gave all the plans for the PS5, right?
No, they haven't yet, and I think that's still in
Or
development.
well, I guess they're like slowly going through it, but they
Yeah.
already said, "Oh, we're gonna do this."
I don't
you
think
know?
I don't think they really wanted to spend the money and the hype because really like what E3 brings is a lot of negative feedback. Like all these people get to see these early previews
Yeah,
of games that might have dates, might not have dates, but then the press or the people that are, you know, watching it are like, "Oh, this is being delayed or this isn't coming out right now," like or this game looks like shit.
yeah, but it's
It's
always
never
that
like
every year.
necessarily positive stuff unless it's that AAA title.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
But
I-
a lot of the games also are for they're multi-platform, right? So
Most of
it's
them,
a
yeah.
lot of it's advertised like free advertising for PlayStation. Most people
it really
use
is.
PlayStation,
And it's very expensive, I guess, to actually have a spot at E3. And
Oh,
being
yeah.
Sony, like you would actually have like a whole wing, you know, like there's like 4 wings in this building. So I'm pretty sure there was like just an empty wing. Either way, with E3 announced, what was your favorite thing that you saw? Because it's probably my favorite thing.
probably Breath of the Wild. I mean, there was a lot of things that definitely caught my attention.
Yeah.
But huge. I'm huge on that game.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild sequel was announced. No date in mind, but it was announced at the end of the Nintendo Direct.
They
That
played a
was-
short video on it. That was pretty
that was
interesting.
played. I don't think it was played at E3, but it was played during E3 week. So
Okay.
that's essentially why like Death Stranding came out when it did, because it was like right before E3
Yeah.
happened. You know, it's like Sony's still doing stuff, but we really don't have that much else to show you. Yeah, so Breath of the Wild sequel, very hyped for that because Breath of the Wild, one of the best games ever made. It looks very dark. You know, it was only like a minute and some seconds long.
Yeah.
So what did you think about it? Like, what do you think it's all about?
I'm excited, man. I don't know. I think it's going to be just like, I feel like it's going to have something to do with underground for some reason.
Like an underworld, maybe?
Yeah, because I felt like they were in caves a lot.
Yeah, there's like Princess Zelda like had a torch.
Yeah. And I know they're using like the same map. So, I think they're just going to add a little bit to it. You know,
Okay.
like I feel like there's going to be a decent bit of underground stuff. And they got to do, right, new dungeons and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So,
So if they're using the same map and a lot of the same sprites, how can they make it like more different dungeons, essentially?
yeah. And
Put
I
it
think it's going to be
underground.
underground and
Yeah.
darker, yeah.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then the end of it, a skeleton like turns around, like cranks its neck, and its
Yeah.
eyes glow red.
Yeah. And there's a theory that's one of the old characters from I don't know. I don't remember which Zelda game. I don't remember which Zelda game it's from. But he
What,
got
a
stabbed in the
skeleton?
chest. Yeah.
Uh,
It might be Ocarina of Time. I can't remember.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
So I was thinking like the ominous music that was playing that sounded like a record going in reverse almost. Like a Beatles album like in reverse. But it sounds like a song that's in reverse. So it might be one of the Breath of the Wild songs just in reverse, or one of just a Zelda song in reverse. I think it almost has to deal with something that they did for the N64 after Ocarina of Time, which was Majora's Mask, which was a 3-day cycle where you had to slow down time to get, as much done in those 3 days before you had to revert back to the first day to stop the moon from destroying the earth, you know? So I'm thinking maybe it's something like that. Like, this world essentially is after Ganon was killed, right? But you're still the same Link.
Yeah, is Ganon ever really killed?
Well, no, but every Zelda game essentially is a new Link coming, a new Princess Zelda too.
Okay.
So there's like a timeline of when every Zelda game was,
Yeah.
and I'm not keen on that in any sense, but there's always a new Link. There's always a new hero awakening when a new Ganon awakens, when a new evil power awakens. And what I was talking to you earlier about before we started recording is that I believe without Ganon being there and it being such a positive, like, good light on the world, there's always has to be the opposite, which is an evil power has to come back up. So maybe it was a past Ganon, since it was a skeleton. So whatever the time frame would be that, oh, you know what it is? It's Twilight Princess. I'm guessing there was a skeleton in that. There was actually a skeleton Link in that says, I'm the old hero.
Yeah, that's not what I was talking about. Though it was a bad guy who was the skeleton.
But you
He
saw
got
how to
stabbed by
fight
the
him.
chest.
You saw how to fight him, though.
Okay. Yeah, but it's a different character. I just can't remember his name. But yeah, I mean that would make sense also. I see where you're coming from, definitely.
Because Twilight Princess was one of the last ones made. I mean, Skyward Sword, I guess, would have been. And Wind Waker, but it wasn't Wind Waker. Wind Waker was too nice looking. But Twilight Princess was very, like, dark and scary. So much that I didn't finish it. Too scary. But yeah, I'm hyped for that. What month and year do you predict that coming out for?
No, I guess it's probably gonna be. You think it's gonna be in 2020?
I'm going to predict that they're going to push for December 2020.
That's what I would guess too.
No, you can't. You got to guess something.
Well, that's
different,
what I was
Tony.
gonna guess before I asked.
Well, you should have said it then.
All right, January 2021.
Okay, fair enough. Probably knowing Nintendo and pushing back.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, they already have the whole platform for it, so I think they'll be able to develop it somewhat quickly.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I hope so.
So I think they essentially put that in at the end of the direct because Animal Crossing, was supposed to be released November this year in 2019, and now it's being pushed back. I want to say until like March 2020. Is that what they said? Or February? So like 3 months later.
Yeah, I think February.
So that was like such a big blow because there's so many Animal Crossing fans out there that were like so hyped for it to come out by the end of this year, and Nintendo just wants to perfect it and make it right. I'm sure there's a bunch of bugs. Like I'm sure there's a huge online service with Animal Crossing that the testing and the betas of it, like something's not working out right that they have to fix before it comes out to the public, because usually Nintendo makes great games where they don't have to patch it like PlayStation and Microsoft do with their first party titles.
Right on. Yeah, and I think they should, There's no really excuse not to.
So the next game is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah.
We watched this the other day at the bar.
Yeah, last week, I think.
Yeah. What do you think?
I love it, man. I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Me
So
too.
anything Star Wars, I'm all about it. And the other Star Wars games I played, I really enjoyed. So I'm sure this one... Well, it looks great. I mean, it looks like maybe the best one ever. Best one that they've made.
I think so, too. Definitely the best one. I've never really... Like, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, but I'm not, like, the biggest nerd when it comes to Star Wars. But I've never been into the Star Wars games that much. Like, I've owned a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I've never really played them much, which, whatever. Like, sometimes when it comes to, like, movies or comic books and all that, I can't get into the games.
Yeah, it doesn't always translate that well.
Yeah. I like unknown characters or, like, video game characters that have always just been video games. Like God of War, like Kratos, like...
Yeah.
Amazing character. Like, there's no, like, cult following because of a comic book or a movie. It's like this guy was just a badass always in video games. But yeah, I mean, the trailer looked great. It was like almost a 10-minute trailer for Jedi Fallen Order. The main character looked a little weird. Like, it was no one that's from a movie that I've seen before. Just a new Jedi. Him running on walls, I thought was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
really cool aspect. Remind me of the Call of Duty back in the day. Not back in the day, but
Yeah, do you think they're going to do, like, make your own character?
no.
You don't think so?
No.
Make yourself a Jedi?
I think
they
that'd
should
be
do
nice, but
Or for online, maybe.
I think there's too much emphasis on this character that they, like, build it around this, like, body figure.
Yeah.
Like, with create a character, you can usually, like, make your own size and this and that and how big it is. I think this is formatted for that one guy, like a young Jedi boy or teen or whatever. I didn't like how I saw him, like, slicing people with a lightsaber and, like, the stormtroopers were just, like, falling over. Like, I feel like it should be a little bit more gruesome, even though it's, like, Disney property now. But, like, think about a lightsaber, like, going through your body.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they did a good job on it.
Like, really, though, if a lightsaber cuts you in half, like, the top half should be sliding down like a piece of meat.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I just don't know the physics of that.
It's a lightsaber. It cuts.
Yeah, but like, how hot is it? How fast can you swing
Think about everyone's arm and limbs that have been cut off in Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
It's just a clean slice.
Yeah, basically would like burn it shut, probably,
Yeah.
huh?
It's not a sword. It's a lightsaber.
Yeah. Well, I've never used one in real life. So.
Neither have I. I think they do have some tweaks that they have to improve on. And I'm not sure exactly. Did they give an announcement for that? Like, when it's going to come out? I don't think they did.
Yeah, I don't know. Not that I remember.
Either way, it looked like a cool game. Death Stranding, we talked about last podcast.
Yeah, we brought it up.
Or 2 podcasts ago.
Yeah, everyone's super excited for that. It's going to be a good game. I
I'm
think.
still going to say that that's going to be Game of the Year.
It very well could be.
So what about Contra Rogue Corps? Did you watch any of that?
No, I don't remember that one. It
So-
didn't stick out to me.
Yeah, it didn't stick out to me either. Besides the name, Contra is like one of the best shooters ever, like multiplayer shooters or single player. Very hard game to play. So this is like Contra in a 3D world. Almost reminded me of Splatoon, but bad graphics, bad looking gameplay. I'm not excited for this at all. I was just like, they're slapping a name on a shitty game, essentially.
Yeah.
Not impressed. But yeah, as a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis game, look like really fun game, but very hard game to play. Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
Nah. I think they're trying to do too much with Dragon Quest, but I was never that much of a fan either.
So they're doing Dragon Quest for the Switch show. You saw that?
Yeah.
The RPG game, not the Builders.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
I'm
fan
hyped
of
for
that
it. Supposedly, I think it was already out for the PS4 a while ago and Xbox. But I might actually pick that up. It looked really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in Dragon Quest, definitely. So I don't know. It could definitely keep you busy for a while, but I don't think that's gonna be on my list.
Yeah. So what did you think about Banjo-Kazooie being released as a Super Smash Brothers character?
I thought that was cool. Definitely. I mean, I'm all for more characters.
Have you ever
Makes
played
the
the
game more
Banjo games?
I don't think I have.
So they were N64 games produced by the company Rare, and then Rare was bought out when the original Xbox came out from Microsoft, and they made Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64, but then did Conker's Reloaded for the original Xbox. But Rare also owns Banjo-Kazooie, 3D platformer game that came out with Yooka-Laylee for the PS4 and the Switch. I thought it was a great character release. Everyone was expecting it and thinking it. One thing I wanted to ask you, Tony, we got 3 more people that are coming out for the Switch. Who do you think it will be?
I think it could definitely be newer Pokemon. It could be Spyro, maybe.
Yeah.
Would be a cool character, I
Which
think.
Spyro's coming out for the Switch?
Exactly.
I might have to pick that up.
So, yeah, I mean, that was a great game. I think a lot of people played that and enjoyed that when they were younger.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I guess it really could be anyone, couldn't it?
I mean, it really could. I think they're on the verge of releasing people that aren't necessarily Nintendo like branded characters anymore.
But there has to be some sort of deal. Maybe they'll do Knuckles too, since Sonic movie's coming out, right?
Or Dr. Robotnik would be cool.
Yeah, another one. I think it'll probably be something relevant, you know, that has to do with a game that's coming out.
Both of them, yeah. Like Joker from Persona 5 was released right when Persona S was announced for the Switch. You know, like they timed that correctly. I saw now I think it might be a meme, but I saw someone have like a new character appears on their TV and it was John Wick.
It could be because he's in that new game.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, which that looks freaking sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely getting on that.
Yeah.
And I love Keanu Reeves. He's the man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that then soon. So for me, I named a few characters. Yooka-Laylee, possibly. Klonoa, which is an amazing series of games. Shout out to you, Highway Tokal. She's a huge fan of Klonoa as well. It was originally a PlayStation game, then got ported to the Game Boy Advance, then came out for the Wii, and then PS2 as well. But haven't heard from Klonoa in a while, and he's an awesome character. But probably doesn't have that many different moves. But I'm sure Super Smash could make it. The Harvest Moon main character, Shenmue. Shenmue would be dope. Or even a Yakuza character. Digimon, just to mess with Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll do that.
They won't do that.
But Digimon was pretty cool.
How about a Tamagotchi player? Like just a digital
I
Tamagotchi
could see
player.
Nintendo doing something like that.
Who owned Tamagotchi? I don't think it was Nintendo.
No idea.
No idea either. So what about Furby? Do you remember Furbies?
Yeah, I remember Furbies vividly.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I had a haunted Furby where
They all were haunted. So.
where it would come on at night,
Yeah,
and then I took the batteries out of it one night, and it still came on,
yeah.
and I was just like, eh.
Creepy. Throw it out.
Yeah,
Get
I
rid
think
of
I
it.
did the next day.
Yeah.
Mr. Tingle from the Zelda games.
Okay.
Maybe a rabbit from Mario vs. Rabbids. My favorite character, one of my favorite characters, Chrono from Chrono Trigger. Possibly a Final Fantasy character since they're making all these Final Fantasy games for the Switch and PS4. And then actually the one that I thought about is the main character from Ni no Kuni, which is going to be released on the Switch, which I think is amazing because it looks like a Switch game to me.
Yeah.
One of my most favorite games I've ever played. Great story.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be something that they're releasing for the Switch. The characters are going to come off a game that they're releasing for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what about Cuphead?
Oh, Cuphead would be cool, actually.
That's probably definitely going to be one, actually.
I don't know, but I mean,
I would put money on that.
you heard it here first. If it's Cuphead, Tony has said it.
Yeah, I would definitely put money
I'm
on
putting money on Ni no Kuni. I think that game is meant for Nintendo, and I'm glad to see it coming out for the Switch and more players getting to play it that never would have because they never owned a Sony PS3 or PS4. Actually, it was a PS3 game, so yeah, like I feel like a lot of Switch players, especially the younger crowd, never got to play a PS3. So Luigi's Mansion was also a game that stood out that I'm super hyped for. The first one, the original one for GameCube, good game, great idea, but I don't feel like it was executed that well as a game. It was literally one of the shortest games for the GameCube, being like 5-6 hours tops, which doesn't necessarily make a bad game. Like, we played Firewatch, we've played Journey, both short games, but for Nintendo, like, first party Nintendo game, it should at least be a 20-hour game. You know?
I mean, I'm expecting less than Super Mario Odyssey, which wasn't even that long.
That wasn't a long game. But there was so much extra stuff that you could do in that game that would make it longer, like the dark side and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe Luigi's Mansion will be like that. I think just looking at the hotel, like the actual like place that he's at and how many stories it is, I think it's going to be a decent long game, like a 30-hour game, start to finish.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think we're going to get that.
I'm excited for it, though. How about you?
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea of it. Why do they always put Luigi in the mansion, though? And it's, like, all haunted and scary.
Well, so Luigi was never a main character, like, for any Mario games. Like, he was always the sidekick, the brother that didn't mean anything. And funny enough, in the N64 game Paper Mario, you live with Luigi, right?
Yeah.
In this house. And you can go back to that house where Luigi's not there anymore for some reason. Like, he, like, left a note. He's like, hey, I'm going to... He's like, I got invited to this mansion or something, like a note saying that, right? I want to say that. I could be completely wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But then there's the secret entrance to the basement that you can unlock and find. And you go to the basement, and the only thing that's there is Luigi's diary. And his diary says how scared he is about ghosts.
Yeah.
And this is an N64 game that's pretty much hinting towards Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. So they were already in development for this, and it makes me wonder if Luigi's Mansion was originally for the N64, I don't know. It's a good, like, side story, like Nintendo side story that, like, some people know, some people don't know. But yeah, Luigi's petrified of ghosts. One thing that I didn't like about the original original Luigi's Mansion is that the controls for the controller were just like a little wonky and messed up. Like sucking in Ghost, you had to hit the actual thumbstick one way and like suck them in, like hold it that way and like toggle it up and down. And it just seemed like a pain in the butt. I feel like they'll have that more refined in this version.
Yeah, I think so. And they'd have like the gum Luigi, or what is
Yeah.
he made of?
Goo Luigi.
Goo Luigi, yeah.
Yeah, he's like this green goo that can't touch water,
Yeah,
otherwise
I think
he
that's
dies.
interesting. I definitely like that. And you can play 2-player on it, so that's
Yeah,
gonna be
I
exciting.
think that would be like a cool way to, have your friend over and you're like, hey, let's play my campaign, but you can play as this goo guy that
Just don't touch any water.
yeah, don't touch any water. Yeah. Pretty much. How about Link's Awakening? We saw a little bit more of that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm hype.
Really?
I'm so hyped, dude. You never played it, right?
No.
Oh. One of the best games ever for Game Boy.
I prefer Breath of the Wild to that. Just like the style of gameplay,
Yeah,
I guess.
like how it looks.
Definitely how it looks, and like being in third person or whatever, not the over top,
Yeah.
I
agree with you, but it still has those relics and that feeling of any Zelda game.
Yeah.
It was one of the first Zelda games ever made that's an actual good Zelda game, in my opinion. I feel like the original Nintendo games they weren't my cup of tea in any sense. But the Game Boy game had the feeling of the SNES version, where like you have to go to the menu to pick a different item, and equip that item to get through this area. Like, that's how it was.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the Nintendo game was like that too, but still not a fan. Trials of Mana.
I don't know much about it. I don't remember that one. I know
Okay.
I've heard the title before.
So, this is a 3-part game that's essentially Secret of Mana 2 that never got released to America. It was a Japan exclusive for the SNES. So they redid that with like updated graphics and stuff for the Nintendo Switch. And then they have like, I want to say like a Final Fantasy game, like Game Boy game on it, and something else. I might pick that up. I'm hyped for it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge JRPG fan, so Final Fantasy VII Remake. Super hyped for this. Don't know if they're actually going to finish it or anything. This is just essentially the first disc of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, and those are like really long games, right?
Really long games.
Yeah.
Especially for the original PlayStation era. But I mean, it's one of the most renowned JRPG games ever. Like, it made what an RPG game should be at its time, and the graphics look amazing. So I'm hyped for it. Let's see. I'm just more so worried about when will Disc 2 or Disc 3 be released.
Yeah. You don't want to be waiting.
Yeah. How about Watch Dogs Legion?
That's the one where you play as multiple characters,
Like,
right?
you can play as any like NPC that you meet essentially in London.
Yeah, I like it. I think it looks pretty cool.
I think it's a great idea.
I don't know how good it's gonna be, all in all, but I mean, it looks like a fun game.
Yeah. I never played the original ones, which I think both of them came out for PS4. Watch Dogs 1 and Watch Dogs 2. Or is this 2? No, this is Legion. Okay. Yeah. Never played any of them. Heard good things about them. Like, you can play like different ways where like you're just like killing people, or you can like be like super stealth and like put like robotic like RC cars into the mission, or just stun everyone with like stun guns. It's a different way of thinking. How about Battletoads?
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool.
No,
I guess.
not to me.
You don't think so?
Not to me at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything that's special.
I was a
Like-
huge fan of Battletoads. Still am. Like, for the original Nintendo, and SNES, I believe I have it for that too. I actually follow a guy called oh man, Battletoads Overload. No, fuck, I should remember this.
Yeah, it's a Battletoads account on Instagram, and he does like the blindfolded runs and stuff, or what? Or is that a different
No,
guy?
he like has just played Battletoads on
Okay.
every CRT TV that he can possibly make.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about
I gotta
that.
look this up real quick.
Right on.
But no, I felt like this new version, and I almost want to ask him like what he thinks about it. It looks messed up. Like it just doesn't look complete. Like it's a multiplayer game, which is cool. But I think it's Battletoads Overload. Hold up, everyone. Yeah, Battletoad Overload. He plays on a bunch of different CRT TVs. Will beat Battletoads for the original Nintendo on that CRT and then donate it, like just give it away.
Very cool.
So I think last time I talked to him, he's up to like 70 different TVs that he beat it off of. And he'll like play anything from like one of those small little like 2-inch screen TVs with a radio hooked up to it,
That's ridiculous.
you know, to like a big Trinitron that's 40 inches. You
Yeah.
know? Like he's crazy. And I'm just like, how can you play the same game over and over again? He's like, this is just what I want to do. I'm like, cool. Like I respect that. If that's what you want to do it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I felt like this new one, it's for Xbox One and PC. The release date is not announced yet. I felt like there's a lot of bugs in it, and it just doesn't look right. It looks hard, but Battletoads is a hard game, so we'll see. We'll see what comes from it. Besides that, man, I don't know. Like anything else that stood out to you?
There was Mario and Sonic Olympics.
Yeah, that's
do you
always been around like every year for the Wii U.
Is it every year or just when they do the Olympics?
When's the Olympics? Like every 4 years?
Yeah, I think they have the.
Yeah, so it's
The
for like every
Olympics.
system they come out with one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
What about
I
The
guess.
Witcher 3?
I didn't really check it out.
Are you familiar with it?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm hyped for it. So, I remember, I think it was the first game that I ever like downloaded was The Witcher 3 on my PS4. It was when I didn't have a license and I wanted to game. Like I wasn't working that day and I couldn't like I beat all the games or every game that I wanted to play like I already played. And I was like, I'm gonna buy a game on the eStore, and I bought Witcher 3. And I started playing it, but it was also close to the time of like Breath of the Wild coming out. So once that came out, like that just took over. I was just like, no, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, where I started playing Wind Waker. I don't know what it was, but I just got out of it. But like graphically, it was really cool. The story was cool. It was just super open world, like a Skyrim game. But also like God of War as well, like huge creatures that you're fighting, huge mythical things.
Yeah, I've heard it's great, and it came a long way since the originals, so.
Yeah. Oh wait, this one? Or Witcher 3
Yeah,
from the original Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy that they can port a game like that to the Switch too. You
Yeah.
know, like it's essentially like God of War being ported to the Switch. It's wild.
Yeah. What about that game Empire of Sin? Empire of Sin?
What's that one about?
It's like kind of gangs, like maybe like 1920s, 30s
Is that-
Chicago gangs.
Is that like you're looking over them? Like you're looking down on them?
I can't remember exactly.
It's for the Switch?
I'm not sure. I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was cool. Like it looked like The Sims sort of, but
Yeah.
gangs.
Yeah. Gangs. Old school gangster.
Yeah. I thought it was cool. I think they mentioned something about multiplayer, which would be cool and fun to play. Like it's sort of like a gauntlet game, but old school New York. We're
Yeah.
like pronouncing words so wrong today. We're stuttering, dude.
Should have done our warm ups.
That's my warm up. Yeah, no, like I'm excited for it, but not really. Like that's more of a game that like I want to see like what other people say about it before I purchase it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it'll be interesting, I think.
Yeah. So, you play any games this week?
I did. I tried this game, Mighty Max.
Mighty Max, that rings a bell.
Yeah, I found out later that it was like action figures, right?
Yeah, it's the Polly Pocket for little boys
Yeah.
is Mighty Max. It's like little monster things.
Yeah, have you ever played it?
Never played it.
It's not that good.
For SNES?
I was on the emulator. I want to say SNES,
Yeah, it was
but I
SNES.
can't remember exactly.
It was SNES.
Are they all? Yeah.
If you're on that emulator, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many freaking functions on that thing. There's so many different folders.
I'm
and
sorry,
stuff.
Tony, for overwhelming you with
Yeah, it
a
is.
free
It's-
library of thousands
It's a
of
little
video
bit
games.
overwhelming, dude. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
But no, I thought I was just scrolling through and I figured, I'll just pick one to try out. And Mighty Max is a dud.
Yeah.
I think so.
It got really good reviews, actually. When
Really?
you told me Mighty Max, I'm like, what are you talking about? Mega Man? And you're like, no, not
Yeah,
Mega
like
Man.
I know the difference between
Yeah,
Mega
yeah,
Man.
I wasn't sure, Tony. Like, I really wasn't sure. But I was like, oh, Mighty Max. Like, I used to play with those little. I wouldn't even call them action figures. They're like mini figures. Like,
Figurines.
they're like little tiny little guys. So like, you're this like little boy that's like trapped in like this giant like scorpion thing, and you open up the scorpion,
Right.
and it's like this whole like little like scenery of like torture devices and lasers and everything, and
Super weird.
I don't know. I was all about it. And I remember there was a yard sale last year that I posted on my Instagram, and I bought like a bunch of Mighty Max things for like $1 to $2 a piece. Then ended up selling it as a lot on eBay for like almost $80 to $90. I
Yeah.
want to say I just did like an eBay bidding thing. Got up to like $90, free ship. I was like, cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or actually, it wasn't free ship. When it comes to bidding, never do free shipping. Always do something. So I think I had like it at like $19 for shipping.
Is that a
so-
lot? That's kind of a lot, huh? Or was it a lot?
It was
to
a
ship?
lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I fit it all in a large flat rate box, which is like $15 to ship.
Oh, that's not bad then.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What have you been playing?
Oh my goodness.
A lot of stuff, huh?
Dude, that's all I do is play video games on my free time. Besides, like, getting stuff done around the house. But, yeah. Played some DK Tropical Freeze last night with the wifey. We were like, let's play a game. She's so hooked on this game. And we haven't 100% completed it. We looked at it. We're at, like, 86%, which now we're probably higher. Because we had to... There's this one level on World 2 that it looks like it's coming up from the second level, and we're trying to find the secret passageway in the second level to get to this area that we haven't been to yet.
Yeah.
So eventually we looked it up because I'm like, I'm not seeing anything. Like, we've done everything in this level that we could. Like, what could it be? So this is called a K level, which I guess most worlds in Tropical Freeze have, where you have to unlock the DONK. Wait, nope. That was wrong. No, the KONG. Super wrong.
It could have went either way.
Yeah,
honestly,
super wrong.
but-
So you have to unlock the Kong letters. So there's 4 letters, KONG, in each level. So you have to unlock each letter in each level on that one world to unlock that level.
Yeah.
So we did that. There was like 4 levels that we didn't get all the letters on. Unlocked this level. We're like, hell yeah. I'm like, let's go live on Instagram just so I can show these cats like this ain't no joke. Like,
Oh, is that what you were doing?
yeah.
Because I saw that you went live and I was
Dude,
like,
this
oh.
game is so hard. Like, people like say like this game's so hard. To me, it's like it's a good difficulty. Like, yeah, you're gonna die, you
Yeah.
know, but there's checkpoints, this and that. Well, let me tell you, these K levels will fuck you up.
Really?
Oh my gosh. At least this one did. Like this might have been the first K level that we unlocked, or we might have unlocked a different one in the past, but this one's all about bouncing off of enemies after you're in a barrel. And oh my gosh, like we died so many times right in the beginning. My wife couldn't get past the first jump at all. Like she just kept dying over and over again. We had like topped out 99 lives starting with. I got down to like 22 lives until I gave up. And granted, it was taking 2 lives away from us every time we died, but she died right in the beginning either way. But I got to this one area where it was before a checkpoint, but I had to shoot out of a barrel and hit 4 different arrowheads before I got to the area. And only one out of those 60, 70 times, I hit the second owl properly.
Really?
Didn't make it to the third out at all.
Sounds very difficult for
Dude,
sure.
so
I
hard.
do like the two-player style.
It was such a simple thing, though. Like, I knew what I was doing. I knew exactly when I should press it, and yet I kept dying. I was just like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were on live for a while on Instagram, and whoever saw that, like, probably just hated us. I was just cursing the whole time. I was so angry. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a good game, man.
It is a good game. Besides that, I tried out the Borderlands prequel, which is one of the free games on the PS4 right now. It's essentially, just a shooter-looter game. It has beautiful graphics. The intro was amazing. Like, it had a really good soundtrack on the intro. And it was like comic booky, like introducing every character that you could play as. And at the start, like after the intro, you can choose the character that you want to play as. So there's like 6 different characters that you can choose from. And the only thing that like I didn't really like that much was that it seemed like every enemy just took so long to take down. Like it didn't matter if I hit him in the head, the chest, wherever. Whatever gun I was using had that damage ratio on it. So, like, the sniper rifle that I had was 56 damage. So, the head was 56 damage. The chest was 56 damage. It was just, like, it didn't matter. So, it's like, when it takes 3 seconds to take a shot and then go back to be able to take another shot with a sniper rifle, I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then it takes 4 shots to actually get him down with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 seconds before that one enemy's down and a bunch of enemies are coming at you. I'm just like, this is
a little too much, huh?
A little too much, but it wasn't like intense where I'm like, oh, I need to like kill these guys right away because I'm about to die. It was just like, this is just way too longer than it has to be right now. And like I brought out my pistol, but my pistol only did 23 damage. So maybe it's like just because I'm at the beginning stage that like those things aren't leveled up yet. Could be a possibility. Like I was able to level up my reloading speed, which definitely helped a little bit, but it was only like 1% faster. Yeah,
it's nothing. 1%.
Not that much, but I could still notice a difference. So like okay, this is better. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it or not. I played the Sonic Mania game, which I talked about earlier. Been playing a lot of Yakuza 0 as well. Loving that. But then I started playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torma something edition, which is the prequel of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You ever watched me play any of that game?
Not that I remember, no. Why would I remember it if I, is it, something that would definitely catch my eye or what?
Did you just put your sunglasses on?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Future's too bright, bro.
It is. It's bright in the game room right now. I don't know if you'd remember it or not. It's a game that I invested like over 150 hours into, and it's pretty much the same map, everything, but it's like based like 500 to 1,000 years beforehand of the original game for the Switch. So there's new characters that you're playing as, but all the blades that you get, which the blades are like your weapons, but they're human weapons.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like-
this isn't the one where you're like fighting robots and stuff, right?
Yeah, probably.
Robot dinosaurs and stuff.
No, not Horizon.
Okay.
No, but you're fighting like creatures, dinosaurs, robots, like all different stuff.
Yeah.
It's this huge open world game that you have multiple characters that you're controlling. And like one thing that people don't really like about it is that the battle system is like automated. So once you get into a battle, you just start attacking, right? And it just attacks for you. And then you power up these special moves over time after every attack lands that then you can like press a button to do the special move, right?
Okay.
So people don't really like that cuz they just think it's like going on, like you're not doing much while waiting those short seconds. But to me, I was able to get so much stuff done in my house while playing this game.
Yeah.
And I was actually using the Switch like the original commercial where the dude's playing like Skyrim on his TV.
And
then
then puts
his-
it in the stand and
Well,
goes-
like his dog is like, like gives him the leash and he's like, oh, you want to go for a walk, buddy? And he takes his dog for a walk or like lets him outside, which I did for my dogs. And I was just playing it portably while watching them outside.
Yeah.
And then I had to cook some dinner, and I'm playing it portably too while battling people. Like, I just had it on the counter, and I was able to battle these low-level things, being like, I don't even need to watch it. Like, it's cool. I don't need to press extra buttons for it. They're just going to battle and level up, because after every battle, you gain all your HP and MP back. Like, there's not really MP. The MP is from you battling, and then you can use those special moves. So you're cool. You don't need potions or anything like that. You're just, let's go find a battle. Let's fight it. That takes 30 seconds to 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Just let them auto battle, and do whatever you need to do. Like, I folded a bunch of laundry the other day while playing this game. Like, it's a cool game.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get stuff done while gaming, it's a great game. Another complaint would be you have to be in the menu system a lot. Like, you have to learn this game like it's a text-based game, even though it's not, because there's so much menu stuff that you have to do to be able to level up your characters, your blades, your weapons, the items that you have, everything like that. But I'm okay with it, because to me, like, if you realize what you need to do in the game, you can, like, over-level yourself, that the game becomes easier or more playable, where like you're not stressed out about certain things,
Right on.
And the music has changed a lot. Like, some of the sounds from the original one is still there, but now it's like this more like jazz, fast-paced influence that I was just like really digging. I'm just like, this doesn't really sound like it should be in this type of video game, but like I'm totally down for it.
Yeah, I can always get down with some jazz.
Yeah, like, really fun, really cool. Like, I can't stop playing it. Like, mainly took over the whole Yakuza 0 that I've been playing. I'm just like, I started playing it because I had to charge my one PS4 controller, and I was just like, oh, let me play this game since I got it in the mail, and now I'm hooked. Like, it's all I want to play.
That's good. That's satisfying, huh?
Yeah, and it's just fun that, like, I'm using the Switch to the full potential. Like, I'm putting it in the TV, and then if I need to go downstairs, I'm taking it portably with me. If my wife wants to watch a TV show, I can just play it portably.
Yeah. Arguably one of the best portable consoles ever.
That's not even necessarily a portable console. It is, but
Yeah. It's both.
it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only system that's been like that. And I hope all Nintendo systems will be like that,
Oh, yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, PlayStation and Xbox, like, want to, like, do something similar.
I don't know. I imagine they would. I know Xbox is branching out. They're like morphing so you can mix your PC gaming with your like Xbox console.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with the new Xbox Scarlet or something. Which that actually sounds pretty cool, but I'm not that into online gaming.
Yeah, I saw some people stream them playing off of Scarlet, which is like a controller with your cell phone, and like they were able to log into their Xbox account and like play games from their cell phone with a controller that's like right connected to it, so it like holds the cell phone up as a screen, and it like played flawlessly, like no lag, nothing. I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, so that's where I think that's where everything's going for sure, to be able to play on any device.
Yeah,
That's what people want.
I mean, that's what Stadia is going to be for sure too.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to compete with that. So.
I think Stadia wants to. I mean, obviously Stadia wants to be like one of the number one consoles, but they have to grow their base from 0 to nothing. Like,
yeah, basically you already have like what 80-90% of people that play on PlayStation, then the other amount that play on Xbox.
yeah. So I feel like Stadia essentially wants to gain their audience from the in between times.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're at your friend's house, but you have your laptop, or they have a TV that you can log into your shit and play from there,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the whole gaming life is going. I'm
Crazy
excited.
world.
Yeah, dude, it's a wild year.
Dude, what's it
going to
be like in 20 years? We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, that's a good topic, actually.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, that's everything that I wanted to say.
Yeah. And let us know if you guys have any thoughts on anything, we talked about this episode. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we would. We did just launch a Patreon. We're not asking anyone to donate money, but if you do enjoy this podcast,
we're asking you to donate money.
Just check it out. It's patreon.com/precisely. There's $1 tier, $5 tier, $30 tier, so on and so on. I think it only goes up to $70, but you get t-shirts from it. You get sticker packs, all this and that. We don't have anyone that has donated yet, but if you donate at $1 tier, I will directly send you a sticker pack, which I think comes from the $10 tier. So, yeah, we'd love for you guys to donate, but if not, don't worry about it. We're just trying to grow, and you never know until you put things out there if someone wants to help you out or not. We also still have shirts and hoodies up on our eBay. Just search Precisely Podcasts on eBay, and you'll see the shirts and hoodies in multiple sizes and colors. We're going to be at Too Many Games next weekend, next Sunday.
Yeah, it's coming up, huh?
Yeah, so let us know if you're going to be there. It's at the Philadelphia Expo Center in Oak, Pennsylvania. We'll just be there Sunday, handing out stickers, talking to people, probably buying some games that we'll be talking about as well. And follow us on Instagram at Precisely Podcasts. And I'm at Bose_Game Room. And Tony is at
Precisely_Tony.
Hey.
All right, this is Precisely.
We out.
We out.